And what I brought forward when I came to Voodoo was, it's got to be about the experience, right? It's got to be about the experience, right?
Mentioning this.
Dude, I mean, the reality is today I can get the best restaurant in the world delivered to my couch with one push of a button. So why am I going to get off the couch? Today it's raining here in Houston. There's a line out the door, right? Yeah. What is forcing these people to get off the couch and drive in the rain, park their cars, stand in line?
I'm just going to do this. Yeah. Jared's going to hate me for moving the camera. Yeah. I'm just going to...
But what's going to make you do that, right? You got to be authentic. You got to be honest. And it's got to be about the experience, right? The experience differentiates everything. We have really quality donuts, and I would say I would challenge some of the best donuts in the business, but that's just the entrance fee, right? If we don't have good product, we're not even in the game. But now what separates you, right? It's about the experience when you walk in, the environment, the music, the decorum in the restaurant, how you're treated. And so for me, I've really focused to coach a team around the experience. How can we elevate the experience of Voodoo? How do we understand what the experience looks like?
So what are the 3 things that you did? Narrow it down to 3 things you did to elevate the experience.
Yeah, so we listen to our customers.
Okay.
So every single morning, we now get a report for every social media comment that goes out on Voodoo. So we had to reflect sometimes because it's not always, I'll tell you, some mornings I wake up and I read that list and I'm like, oh man, we had a bad day.
So you listen to the customers, number one. And what ways are you listening to the customers?
So we roll up, as I said, all the social media reviews, right? From Yelp and from Google and from analysts. We do a roll up every morning of every review we've gotten for the day before. We send those out to every store manager. So total transparency, right?
Yep.
Because everyone's seeing everybody else's reviews, right? And we have to own that, right? We've got to read that and own that because we all love the good ones, right? You're a 5-star, you're awesome. We don't like the 2s and 3s, and the 2, 3s and the 1s. We're like, they just don't get it. Yeah. No, they get it. We didn't get it, right? So that was one, right? Was listening to the customers.
Yeah.
Make sure we listen to customers. Make sure, we're not always reactive to it because we can't react to every single comment. But the reality is you got to listen to what your customers are telling you.
Yeah, I mean, when you have how many stores now?
We've got 9 now, right?
That's a lot of channels of communication, right?
It is, and we know today with social media, and Yelp, everyone's a food critic now, and that's okay. I mean, I know I'm probably going to go against some of the people that think differently than I do in the restaurant business. I like that. I like the fact that everyone can review me, right?
Yeah,
it's getting a report card.
Data.
I get a report card every single morning on how we did yesterday.
Yes.
I get one report card with the financials and the other report card from our customers.
Yeah, I mean, but it's basically it's tracking, right? And you get this is free information that you wouldn't otherwise be able. People used to put boxes up. They still do. You
right.
Still do
comment
that.
boxes.
But
yeah.
now it's just already there. You don't have to ask for it. It's there.
It's there. So we do that.
So number one, you listen.
Right.
Number two, these are the 3 things that you do to create a better experience.
I also listen to the employees.
Okay.
Right. So constantly get feedback from the team. How are we doing? What are we doing? So we run employee satisfaction surveys in our stores once a quarter because we're trying to capture how are we doing as an employer, right? Are we giving you the things you need? So as an example, we now offer pet insurance. It sounds so small and so different, but the reality was when we did our benefits, our team said, we'd like to get health care for our dogs and our cats and our pets. And I was like, never hit my mind. I was like, well, let's do that for them, right? Let's make that work. And it sounds so small, but I'll tell you, just including that was a big win for the team. So
but the impact, and that's what you can't overlook is what are you willing to do to make people happy? And we don't talk to our employees enough, and they're another piece of data, right? And the other thing is when we talk to them, they might have the problem and the solution,
right?
And you're tapping into another source of energy to be a potential problem solver. Why you're employing all these people. Think of each brain as like a battery, right? And the more brains you can plug into, the more potential energy you have. And why cut yourself short of that?
But think about it as well. They're all representing me.
Yeah.
Right. I'm not on the counter, so the 4 people that work at the counter here today, they're all representing the brand. They're representing me, and you got to listen to them, right? You can't. Yeah. They're not robots, right? I wasn't a robot when I was working in the restaurant.
You want to be heard.
I would love to, when I was working, to tell the owner, "Hey, my name's Chris. Can you ask them to call me Chris?" But back in the day, that was just the way it was. And I think today you got to listen.
Yeah.
So listen to our customers.
Listen to your employees.
Listen to our employees.
And so is that 1 and 2?
That's 1 and 2.
Okay. And what's the third thing?
That's interesting. The third thing. Don't get too high or low on any given day. So you have a great sales day. Let's, be careful not to read your press clippings only in good days, right? So we have great sales days. I don't get too high or too low on sales, right? I know it'll normalize out. So I don't get on the team too much when we've had a bad sales week, right? We talk about it. We talk about why and what's going to happen next. But as long as you're trending upward and you're moving and there's momentum, you're having success. And I think so many times, in my seat, we focus so much on the numbers. The numbers are the only thing that drive us and drive every conversation is the numbers. I think if you drive around people and product that first, people, product, and process, right, the numbers are going to be there. And if you have to adjust, you have to adjust. But for me, I don't get too high or too low as an organization.
I think it sounds like the reason why you're bringing this to the conversation is that if you're following the numbers too close and you have a bad numbers day and it's a Tuesday afternoon and it's raining out,
right,
you're going to let those numbers influence your presence,
right?
And then that presence is then going to influence everybody around you. Is that?
I think absolutely.
Is that the connection?
Absolutely. And I would caveat that with it as well as we talk to employees. So my cell phone number is up in every store by the schedule. My personal cell phone number.
Yeah.
And so I share with the team if culturally we're not doing what we said we're going to do, and we're not treating you in the cultural way, call me.
Yeah.
Call me.
And I have your cell phone number. I'll put that in the show notes for everybody.
That calls from the dishwasher to the dishwasher to the. It's okay. Call me at any time, because that's what I committed to as an operator, right? That's what I committed to and as a coach.
Yeah.
That's what coaches do, right? So I've learned that, and I've learned through my years as well as I've learned to be a good delegator, right? We talked about this already. I try to do everything myself. I realize sometimes I can't.
Yeah.
And I learned that at Mod, right? As Mod grew, right? There was just too much. So part of bringing it to Voodoo was let's make sure we give people the tools to do a good job and let them run.
Yeah. What's the secret to being a good delegator?
Not being too full of yourself. Yeah.
That's good.
Listen, I always think I can do things better than everybody else. Always. I think I could have built this thing better than the construction guys, but I know I can't, right? I don't know how to build the restaurant, but don't doubt it. I won't come in and go, why is that wall a little crooked? But I also just don't be too full of yourself sometimes, right? Yeah. I think as you grow, and especially in this business, as you become upper senior level management, sometimes you start to believe in your own clippings, right? Read your own clippings. And sometimes I think it becomes almost self-fulfilling, right? Because now you have a little bit of success, and now you think everything you say, boy, I have the magic, right? And I'm not sure that's always true.
Yeah. Man, I've been loving this. So just to summarize real quick, the three things. 1 was to listen to your guests. 2, listen to your employees. And 3 was remind me of
don't get too high or too low based on numbers, right?
Yes.
Don't let that don't dive so deep in the numbers that you forget about 1 and 2.
Yeah. And these are the ways to create a great experience. And there's one more I want to throw on there. I think is just the creativity that went into displaying, right?
Yeah.
And we just put things in a counter and we go, there we go.
Right.
But you guys you walk in, the space is pretty. There's a queued line, right? And along the line there's you have a whole display of the swag that you guys, the hats and the shirts. These are all parts of the experience while you're waiting. You're shopping while you're in line, right? And then beyond that, you get there's a spinning and I'll
jewel case, right? Because the donuts are jewels.
Yeah, you get these donuts in a jewel case that's spinning, right? And you're getting creative and that's all these little details. You have this open, beautiful kitchen behind you, right? Where you can see, and there's a window that you can look in and see the process of how things are made.
Right.
These all tie into experience, right? And I just wanted to point out those things.
Yeah, I think so. Listen, I think that we all, you go somewhere, you leave, and you're like, and I think I read a study one time that people will always forget what they ate, but they won't forget how they felt.
Yeah,
right?
man, you walk into this place, the music's bumping, right?
Right, and we don't choose the music, so we let our team choose the music.
So
we have guidelines, and so they come in, write their name on a list, and they get to play their music for the hour, and then the next person plays their music for the hour, and the next person, again, letting people be people, right?
Yep.
And as long as we give them some guidelines and some curbs, they're pretty good about it.